We are going to play Minecraft for this Farlands or Bust live stream is what this is. I'm no longer in the circle. I'm not in the circle. Circle gets the square. We're bringing back green screens. It's 2017 on Twitch all over again. For those of you watching on YouTube, it's February 23rd, 2023, a Thursday. And we're doing a live stream here. The last time I guess we did Farlands or Bust was the 7th of the month, probably for an episode. Oh yeah, that was a popular episode where I just answered the question about being 10 years old or getting $10 million. I hope a lot of you stayed for after the episode. After the end credits, there's a bonus after credits scene where I go on to say something that I forgot to say during the episode about how the thought experiment of thinking you can or should go back to being 10 years old and all the different choices you would make. Now put yourself in the shoes of the person you're going to be 20, 30 years from now. What if that person would go back to whatever age you are now, and what choices would they make? What would they focus on? What would they deem more important than the things you currently think are important or are spending your time on or not spending your time on? That's a real mind twister right there. That's a real doozy. I don't like that person who's asking me these questions because I feel very lazy and very much I don't know. As I'm about to hit play Farlands or Bust here, I don't know if 70-year-old Kurt J. Mac is going to think that the 11 plus years I spent playing video games on the internet, on YouTube and the site called Twitch, were a good or bad use of my time and energies. It's a real butterbrain situation right there. I don't know. Yep. Future me is judging present me as present me judges past me. And on that very light, jovial note, get your woofs ready. We're about to begin. Woof! All right, now we can begin. This is a stream, remember? Not a full-on episode. Right, Wolfie? We're more casual. We're not worried. I mean, we're always worried, but we're not worried about snoring every night or making the most progress or having a full episode's worth of talkitudes to talk about. But I do have a full episode of talkitudes to talk about. I mentioned to chat that I have another famous Kurt J. Mac interview request. I can't say what it's for yet. They don't want me to share that for a project. But I've got a series of questions that this person sent me. They wanted to do it over like Skype or Discord or Skype. What is this, 2017? Zoom or something like that. But I'm like, I would feel more comfortable if you just emailed me the questions and I could type them back at my leisure without... If you've listened to previous interviews with Kurt J. Mac, I don't feel like I do well under pressure. Under pressure of needing to have answers to questions that people ask me in the moment. So I'm going to answer them now in the moment. But no, I figured it would help me get my thoughts together, and instead of sitting there staring at a blank email trying to reply to this person, I'll have pre-rendered answers ready to go. Whoa, spoiler! All right, that's fine. What else did I want to talk about? I mean, before we get into that, I've not been a good streamer. It's this, that's the problem. 70-year-old me is like looming over me through the ether of space and time, and I've just not been motivated to stream. I mean, once we realized that Wild West Dynasty was no good for us, we really just lost all hope. Oops, sorry, sheep, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to shear you. Oh. That's a shame. So yeah, I've just been... Bleh, just real... Not like... And not like depressed or anything either, like I normally... Pink sheep. There's no pink sheep. He was pink because I punched him and then he died. I realize now that that is the only sheep emote that I have and the only thing that you guys are able to use in that scenario. But yeah, just like... uninterested. Yeah, just like... not just unmotivated. Unmoisturized. Bothered. Like even... Maybe I am depressed. I was even like... procrastinating is how you pronounce that word. Like, this is gonna sound weird, but like, does anybody just procrastinate trimming their fingernails? For like days. Days and days and days. A thing that literally takes 45 seconds. That just... yeah, maybe not weeks. I mean, we're not going for another Guinness World Record on the fingernail scale here. But... if I don't have to see people, it's just like, yeah, it was just a weird thing. And I like kept scratching myself and being like, oh, I should trim my fingernails. Oh, I should trim my fingernails. I should do that the next time I you know, brush my teeth or do whatever in the bathroom where my clippers are. And I never did it until earlier today when I also finally took a shower. We all know how that went too. Why does my body require maintenance? So yeah, just like not even interested. I don't know what it was. Like I said, not depressed. I actually, kind of another kind of a weird admission is I was, I don't think I ended up streaming this day anyway, but I was just driving Juno to go on our walk and like, I had a brief moment, just a brief moment of like, yeah, I'm alright. Like, yeah, this is... things that are happening are good. Driving the pickup truck. It's been going well. It's kind of fun to drive. I got Juno in the back, gonna take a walkies. Living with the girlfriend. She's going to school, getting things figured out that way. Doing really well. I just like had a little, like a waft of... yeah, I guess not happiness, I guess contentness, which I don't. That is... the reason I'm noting it is because it is an unusual feeling for me. But yeah, I don't know what... maybe I just had like a mild stroke or something. I don't know what that was. So yeah, that was weird. And then, literally moments later... I was like 5 seconds away from getting hit by somebody who blew a red light. So the universe is back in equilibrium. Like literally, I was coming up to make... oh, get punched, everybody. I was like making a left turn. I was gonna make a left turn. I had the green arrow. And then somebody coming from the left in the opposite direction who has a red light just went through. Just went right through. Went right through the intersection, around somebody who was actually stopped at the light. And, like, that person was like, that to me, as I, like, honked at them. But yeah, I don't know. This is weird. And then these last few days, I didn't stream yesterday. We recorded a Ranwin Parked, or we streamed a Ranwin Parked on Cone's channel. Yeah, and the other day I didn't know what to stream, so we ended up doing GeoGuessr, which was fine and fun and enjoyable, but I had like just like really short streams. You can still be depressed while things are going well, and you do sound depressed. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it does. Ooh. Depressing noises. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm still, like, there's still stuff I need to do, too. Like, I still need to find a therapist, and, like, that is another thing. If trimming my fingernails takes me nigh a full week to remind myself to keep doing, finding a therapist is a what's it called when something takes, like, a decade? A decadal endeavor? Decadent delicacy. So yeah, I found them too. I just need to like call them or submit like a contact form or whatever, and they like take my insurance or whatever. Decadent is it decadent? I think decadent sounds right. I think it's like decadal, right? Decathlon. Anyways, I digress. A decade-long affair. That's kind of what I'm going for, yes. That's probably, instead of looking for one word to rule them all, it probably needs to be a phrase of words, as is how language tends to work. Decidious. Darth Sidious. So yeah, I mean, I went to a Cars and Coffee with the Datsun the other day. That went well. Drives fine. Hung out. Met some people. The girlfriend bereft a kind of not, what's the word, like a, I don't know sports terms, but like a game that isn't an official game. A scrimmage of roller derby, and I went and watched, even though I had really no idea what's going on in roller derby. And we had a date night where we went to the museum, and I saw a train set. I saw a cool train set, and got cool pictures and videos of the little tiny trains. And then we went out to eat afterwards. And there was other stuff at the museum. So yeah. I do feel like we're trying to get out of the like winter hibernation funk. Nyom. Yeah, I mean, the one in Chicago at the Museum of Science and Industry, that's probably like one of the best, I don't know, I could be wrong, but best like model train setups. It's like all Chicago. Nyom. Gotta get back into playing Model Train Simulator. Or whatever it's called. The idea of having a full-on train setup in my basement really intrigues me. I mean, that's what the girlfriend was like. Yeah, we should make a train set in the basement. We have so much room, even though now my office is down here. I'm like, no, we don't. That's an expensive That's an expensive hobby, and one that also takes up a lot of space in and of itself. Well, at this museum, they also have like a yearly like model train expo, which is like apparently a huge deal and jam-packed and like expensive to go to. I'm still trying to figure out my hobbies, and I don't think model trains is in the contention at this point. We're not that desperate. Many boats, and I might as well make some more beds while I'm at it. Beep, beep, beep. Oop, probably should have made more boats than just 2, but here we are. All right. We got stuff to do. We got answers to question. For interviews, because we're a very famous, I almost said wealthy, and that is not, that's the furthest from the truth. I'm wealthy in coffee. Yeah, we got some questions here. These are definitely questions I've answered before, but they will help me get in the mindset, and I'm depending on one or more of you to dictate and then send me the text of my answers so that I don't have to lift a finger. But the first question is, how did you first get into Minecraft, and why did you decide... Oh, hello.
How many real days has Farlands been going now?
Real days? I don't know. Somebody will answer that for you, but that is not one of the questions. But thank you, Shortwind, for the bits and the question. In March, on March 8th, it'll be 12 years total. I mean, that's just the amount of time that's been elapsed. I don't know if you mean like the actual, how many days of playtime. Like, you know, what Steam tells you how long you've played a game. But how did you first get into Minecraft, and why did you decide to walk to the Farlands? And then they further clarify, they're interested to know whether there are or were any trends in gaming culture at the time that might have inspired me. Marathons in Minecraft or other games, people building Minecraft megastructures, and so on. Well, I first got into Minecraft, I first heard of Minecraft from Penny Arcade, the Penny Arcade comic. They had a strip that was basically him being like, everybody's talking about Minecraft and telling me to play Minecraft. So then he's like in the game and he's like, okay, I gotta like punch a tree and I get wood and I gotta do this and turn it into sticks. And then he's like, oh no, I'm in real trouble here. Just because it's like, it's that exact survival, you know, the thing that now every game is trying to do, that survival process of dopamine hits for going to the next stage. So I'm like, I haven't heard of this Minecraft, so I googled it, I found the website, and then I found David X's Adventures in Minecraft. Was the first Let's Play that I saw of Minecraft. And that was very good. And that's very addicting. And then, of course, I got it myself. And that was 2010. Late 2010, I think. But I didn't start the Let's Play until March of 2011. Because I eventually started watching other Let's Players, CoStar, Yogscast, and, you know, I started to think, this could be something I'm good at. This could be something I'm interested in trying. So I did. And it just started out as a normal Let's Play. Playing Minecraft, building a cabin, searching for iron, and fighting off skeletons and stuff like that. But then it was around, well, it was the 10th episode. It was earlier than that, but it was the 10th episode that I decided that I guess I felt like I needed something to differentiate myself, and it was recently made aware that there was a farlands, that there was a point in the terrain generation that the math broke down and things got all weird. I didn't fully look into it, or like I didn't fully grasp or conceptualize how far away they were, what even made them, anything about floating point, or how long it would take to walk. I just decided I don't think anybody else is doing this. So let's try to walk to the farlands. And to, like, expand on what they're more specifically asking. I mean, I did hear, at that point, I think at that point, I know Mario Marathon was a thing. I'm pretty sure Desert Bus was a thing, Desert Bus for Hope, the marathon charity. And I was really... I think those are the things that kind of interested me in walking to the farlands. But again, I didn't fully... I started the journey with quite a bit of ignorance about the topic or about the scale. But the sort of... there was somebody... an article or something about, like, the pointless endeavor. Just it's a trying to achieve a goal that really has no purpose in and of itself, or it's not solving any problem or anything like that, and doing it the long way, the hard way, the slow way. I could have just teleported myself there or whatever. Or gone via the nether, but there's some appeal to that. The journey, true, the journey. And I don't think at that point there were really many mega structures or huge, because this was pre, I mean, I guess there might have been redstone, but it was pre, like, huge redstone contraptions. There might have been, like, one... like computer, or like some 8-bit computer that somebody made in Minecraft or something like that. That stuff really didn't catch my attention or interest me. But one of the things that interested me about Minecraft from the get-go, I don't think, maybe I had and didn't know it, but I don't think I ever played a game that touted randomly generated worlds, certainly in 3 dimensions, but then also endless, infinite, randomly generated terrain worlds. And I was always interested in that sort of thing. You know, messing with my college project, Mr. Randomizer, the random music generator. It always, that's something about the game that appealed to me, is like turning the corner and not knowing what you're going to see. And at least in those days, when it was just mostly single player, what you end up seeing is in your world, and your world alone. This was before you could enter seeds and copy seeds from other players or other worlds. So, like, a truly unique experience. And that's what drew me to Minecraft, and then drew me to say, let's try to walk to the edge of the map, because I heard there is one, and it gets real wacky with the code, and I'd like to see that. And not, I'd like to teleport myself and see that, because then that wouldn't mean anything to me. But yeah, it wasn't until later that I realized how long it would take, how much time going about it would take. To the point where now it's been referred to, instead of a speed run, a slow run, just a journey for the sake of the journey. The next question. Looking back on your journey so far, can you tell me about a few of the major developments or transition points, such as play strategies, things you've built or witnessed, game errors based on the distance you've traveled? I mean, again, I don't think I fully understood the scope, and and not knowing anything about the Farlands, I kind of thought it was going to be a gradual increase in the terrain generation failing, but instead it's just a wall that just happens at 12,550,820 blocks, which I've memorized. So I guess that's a surprise, but that also means that we still see some weird stuff. And being as this has been going on for 12 years, it's now a version of the game and a version of the terrain that nobody really plays in anymore, and there's a lot of nostalgia for. So we've definitely seen some weird stuff, interesting stuff on various scales. I think the most obviously apparent strange development is the floating point precision errors, rounding errors, which as we get further and further and into the millions and millions of blocks away from 0, the terrain jitter gets worse and worse to the point where it's now a quarter of a block off, right? Quarter of a block? Yeah. Boom, bing, bong, boom,
I was
boom.
watching the exact episode when the block's starting going wacko. Closing parenthesis. Thanks, man.
Thank you again, Shortwind, for another 500 bits. Much appreciated. Yeah, we first noticed it during the first Flobathon, when we were only 250-ish thousand blocks from spawn. We noticed just a slight offset in the block selection box. And now we've noticed at least 2 borders where we've crossed over from one floating point rounding error to the next and done some interesting experiments and made small monuments, little builds to commemorate the moment. So I think that's the most obvious thing. Eventually the block offset will become a whole, or not a whole block, but a half a block before the Farlands. And that might make it a little bit unplayable, or watchable even. So there are fixes that we can make to the code. That can remove the floating point errors. I'm hoping not to have to do that because, again, much like walking and playing in this old version of the game that barely anybody plays anymore, it's another thing that differentiates Farlands or Bust from other Minecraft Let's Plays and videos and streams. But we'll see about that. But otherwise, yeah, we make monuments at the end of every season for fun, after we raise a certain amount for charity or whatever. And we see stuff, we make note of every pink sheep we find. We at first we're very amazed that we found a golden apple, which is is the rarest item to find in this version of the game, but we've since found 5 and 8 one. But yeah, even though we've been doing this for 12 years and we're almost 6 million blocks from spawn, almost halfway to the Farlands, we still end up finding and generating terrain that is like, well, that's neat. I've never seen that before. Or, hey, that's cool. Look at that waterfall in a waterfall sort of thing. Next question. Am I doing good? Is this good? Are these good interview answers? Is anybody taking notes? Lukewarm chocolate. I need some wood. Get over here. Get over here. All right, the next question they have for me is, where are all your boats, you fool? You did not make enough boats. How have wider developments in the world of Minecraft affected you? Obviously, you're playing in an older version, but I'm interested to know whether the game's increasing popularity or shifts in the kinds of people playing Minecraft had shaped how you think about your journey. What do you play more recent versions of Minecraft at all, just out of interest? No, I don't play modern Minecraft. It's kind of the modern current versions of the game have become a game that I'm not familiar with. And therefore I just don't find of interest to me. It's almost I kind of like the simplicity of the early Minecraft, both of the items and the survival and I almost say the terrain, but the terrain I don't feel is more simple. It's more chaotic, I feel, which I enjoy. I will play an occasional multiplayer charity UHC, as Weatherman points out there, in the modern versions, but my lack of knowledge about it only adds to the action and the interest, what interesting things happen during those events. Speaking of wild terrain, look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this. Whoa, it's just a big old wall. Neat. Popping out of nowhere. How have the wider developments in the world of Minecraft affected you? They haven't affected me much. I've perhaps purposefully and for my own sake have kept my goals in Farlands or Bust and like my process pretty rigid. I'm walking to the Farlands in the overworld on normal difficulty. I sleep every night. My most major concern is keeping Wolfie alive. And I don't take the Nether, and I don't need to go caving ever. And I'm staying in Minecraft, unmodified Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. A lot of people might ask, why don't I upgrade? Or there's an upgrade and a mod that also brings back the Farlands, and why don't you take the Nether? Why don't you do this, that, or the other sort of thing? But I think sticking to the original plan and keeping it simple certainly reduces the chance of any sort of confusion or complications or any exterior influences affecting what I'm doing. And that's, I think, less for the sake of Minecraft and more for the sake of my own, like, abilities to filter a lot of that out. I mean, the increasing popularity of Minecraft, I suppose I've maintained mostly isolation from that. Although Delivery McGee subscribing for 31 months in a row.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh god, it's Flob. You've already broken the game. And see. I'll listen and look at my other monitor.
And see. Thank you for 31 months of those Bezos bucks. Much appreciated. I mean, I think the popularity of YouTubers and series and streaming affected me more than anything related to the game or the gameplay. What with going to Minecons and signing autographs and having lines of people and, you know, the audience has always been kind of young, which I guess wasn't what I expected. I expected at first it to be people like me, and it was, and we've made friends and things like that, but they're other creators, not necessarily fans. But I think as time has passed, perhaps it's a lot of the earlier Minecraft players and series watchers that have stuck around, and perhaps the Farlands journey doesn't necessarily appeal to the new audience. I don't know if that has any... Maybe that kind of applies to that question. I don't know if there's a way I can include that, but... Indeed. The next question. I haven't said who's interviewing me. Creepers.
Thanks, Kurt. Love your answers and philosophy. I've fallen off my subscription, but that doesn't mean I don't love your content or intent.
My content or intent? I've never heard anybody say intent, but I appreciate it, and thank you again for another 1,000 bits. Shortwind, much appreciated indeed. What was I saying? Oh, I haven't said who's interviewing me because the project they don't want me to mention. It's like still not public.
Con intent.
Cone intent. Condo intent. But the next question is, do you have any technical challenges running older versions of Minecraft at this point, such as loss of compatibility? No, they've, short of some updates, they've made it possible to keep playing old versions of Minecraft through the Minecraft Java launcher pretty consistently. At one point, these older versions lost contact with the Minecraft skin servers, so I just had to hard replace the default Steve skin with my in-game skin here to get it to appear. I obviously, yes, do a lot of backing up of the Minecraft Farlands or Bust world because I don't want to lose any progress. So I have a pretty rigid backup schedule. So if anything were to happen with the save or the files or my computer or anything, that I have a current version, or at least I wouldn't lose much more than a day of Farlanding. Yeah, the most technical challenges are simply the in-game terrain offset, like I mentioned before, and whether or not that is going to be playable and or watchable for much longer. And the world save. The world save, speaking of backups, is a little bit of a hindrance. It's, what was it, like 47 gigabytes at this point? And it is using the old, you know, the beta world format, which is very file heavy and unreally optimized. So keeping and making those backups takes a while. And then also, if I did want to do any sort of project, like do an overview or map or anything interesting like that, it's not conducive to that because it's very hard to put that anywhere online. Or transfer it online or anything like that, which isn't a big deal to me, but those are some things I thought I'd be able to keep up with, but haven't. Does it compress very well? I don't compress it, but also no. It doesn't. So it would go from like 47 gigs to like 42. Just because there's so many files. There's like 80,000 files. It's not necessarily like the size of the files, it's just the number of individual files. I think there's like a file for each chunk that gets loaded, the whatever they're called, the .mcr files or whatever. I really haven't tried to like compress it. It's a file per 32 by 32 region of chunks. And we're almost 6 million. How many backups do I keep? I mean, I have the local copy that I'm playing on. I have a backup on my PC on a different hard drive. I have a local backup to my network drive, and then I have an offline, or online, whatever, a web-based off-site, that's what I was looking for, backup. I mean, that's just of, like, everything on my computer anyway. Oh, I haven't taken a screenshot yet. That big old wall was a screenshot I should have taken for the thumbnail. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. A cloud backup in the cloud. Finally here, this question. Skeletnas. Whoop, gotta go. I'm interested to know whether you think of Farlands or Bust as a work of autobiography. Do you have any kind of settled policy about how much of your wider life you talk about in the videos? In general, what does the journey mean to you at this point? I suppose I have not thought of it as an autobiography. I kind of think of it as like a podcast. Almost like a journal. Which I suppose, by definition, is a little bit autobiographical. Ooh, that was a weird way to say that word. Because I've definitely told a lot of stories of things in my life. that people find interesting. I've certainly talked a lot about things that happen in my life. You know, things like the NASA tweet-ups and socials for the Juno launch and the Cassini thing, going to conventions, PAX, Minecon, TwitchCon, whatever. Hobbies I have when they are available. Cars I've bought. And frequently, mental health and personality struggles that I can only sleep at night. That I think people relate to or can relate to or even can help me or themselves or whatever. So yeah, I suppose to retract my previous answer, I suppose it's a little bit, I almost said acrobatic, but autobiographical. I mean, there's definitely a policy that myself and I think a lot of YouTubers, Twitch streamers, keep to varying degrees about how personal to get. And that changes based on situations, whether or not you talk about relationships. I definitely don't like to talk about specifics about my family, aside from anecdotal stories and stuff. Not so much as to remain anonymous, but more for safety's sake. That's still a concern. It was perhaps more a concern earlier when this was all new and everybody was still figuring stuff out, and other people were making mistakes and learning based on those things and making your own mistakes, or deciding like, oh, that's not that big a deal, I can mention that. The heck happened here? Okay. And I think like that's become even more of a big thing now with the rise of influencers and TikTok stars and Instagram people, and that I kind of do feel like, and I could be wrong, but I do feel like YouTube, primarily the gaming community, we're kind of the first influencers, content creators. I don't think that many major publications make that assessment that it was really the gaming,
I don't know what to say.
YouTube palette hands.
You're both touched.
73 months. That kind of paved the way for that. You did a Bezos bucks. Thank you very much. 73 months in the subtub. But yeah, that's kind of getting beside the point. So yeah, and it's tough, and you do make mistakes or the wrong choices about certain things or whatever, and you learn from them, and you hope that everybody involved is like also learns from that sort of thing, and you move on wiser about how to be a person online and in these spaces. And yeah, certainly as a white middle-aged man, I don't quite have any concept of the concerns of other people belonging to different groups would have in the same situation. So, I mean, I definitely count myself privileged to have a few less of those anxieties and concerns. Yeah, and I think that is a difference. This isn't part of the question, and I'm probably not going to tell them this, but I think that's kind of the difference. I know now I'm not, and like we had a person come into chat who's part of whatever the Grand Council of Farlanders or whatever. I think that's the difference between taking 12 years, as I have, to walk to the Farlands versus doing it in a month. Not to say that that's any, like, less cool or that they did it or anything like that, but it's definitely allowed for the time for Farlands or Bust for a series like this to be autobiographical and to make connections and kind of more, I feel like more, it might be a bit off-putting or even just not interesting to the casual observer, and maybe that's why it doesn't reach a wider audience of virality or whatever, but we definitely have a core audience that has ebbed and flowed and shifted throughout the years. But I definitely think that that's a positive of doing it the slow run way instead of the speed run way, I suppose. And then their last, like, part of the same, I already asked this, but in general, what does the journey mean to you at this point? Spooky noises. It means spooky noises. I think it's, I mean, while Minecraft and the game and walking to the Farlands are definitely important, it's become more than that. It is kind of a personal journal of mine. Maybe this has been a form of therapy for me when I can't find a therapist. Maybe it is definitely something that I started because I wasn't happy with what I was spending my time on at the time, my job and whatever, just as a curiosity, and then for it to have launched a new career, a decadal long career. And yeah, this is the part where if like somebody was asking me, like on the phone, to answer this question, I'd be like, I like Minecraft. That's but yeah, it's almost, it's just the it's certainly been a one-of-a-kind experience. And of course, yeah, also, yeah, the Minecraft is important, but more importantly, I never thought I would be involved in raising so much money for charity using Farlands or Bust, and of course meeting fellow colleagues, streamers, YouTubers who are now friends, despite what the memes might say. You know, from across the globe that I never expected. And it's just a constant now. And I really don't feel like I had many of those. I suppose. And like anything, it there's days when I don't want to do it, and there's days when we have a really good time and answer a bunch of cool questions, or one cool question, or whatever. And there's times where I feel like nobody is watching and nobody cares about what I'm saying. And then there's the other times where I get a bunch of good feedback and comments, and I'm really happy with what I've done. But yeah, I'm just I'm looking for like a real. I need like a. They're gonna make this a pull quote. I mean, aside from it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Applause. And we're all taking the journey. I feel like I'm not doing this journey alone. It's not just me and Wolfie. The audience is along for the journey as well. There's a dinosaur. John Williams is here, everybody. Indeed. And I didn't even mention the Guinness World Records thing, and I don't want to, really. Did you just call your long-term fans dinosaurs? Yes. Yes, I did. Can't believe they didn't let you keep the frame. You gotta buy the frame. They sell it on their website. I think that's what the Guinness World Records is. It's just a scheme, a real complicated scheme to get people to buy frames.
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted,
By
sir.
handing out world records. Figonomics! Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the sub tub. Brand new sub in the tub, everybody. Welcome, Figonomics. Much appreciated. Sub tub! Ooh. Oh, that's a big tube right there. New sub hype. We're getting closer to 420 for the first time ever. We're getting there. We're gonna slowly get there eventually. Oh, I don't need this. Get out of here. Well, thank you very much, Figonomics. Now you make me want to have a Fig Newton.
I don't know what to say.
Nate!
I'm touched.
You're both touched.
Kurt Wellen.
Wellens, thank you for a tier 2 sub.
I think that you are the most fascinating character.
Pie Maker.
Not me.
25 months. Bezos bucks.
Absolutely.
Yearly subtub check-in. Now and then I remember.
Yearly? Yearly? You mean you're giving Bezos his bucks all those other months? You gotta deny those bucks to the Bezos. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, dang it. Indeed. So those are the questions. Hopefully I can watch this back and write some sort of coherent answers to the person asking them. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't take credit for, like, inventing the idea of walking to the farlands. I'm sure somebody else would have come up with it eventually. In Shortwind,
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted,
you
sir.
overcame your non-subitudes and subs. Thank you very much, Shortwind. 7 months in the sub-tub. We're on a roll. And Doc Gratis for the bath bomb. Thank you very much, Doc Gratis. A lot of food-based names in that bath bomb. We got cereal, we got cheeseburger. Let's go doodler. Bath bomb. And Griff. Griff. And small batch. Thank you very much for another 5 sub bath bomb. And if my calculations are correct, a hype train? I like trains. Thank you very much, small batch. It is a hype train. All aboard! We're already at level 3. How did that work? I'm not complaining. We gotta get a mod. That would be funny. That would be unnecessary, but that would be funny.
You can dance. You can dance.
A tip.
Everybody look at your pants.
A tip. The Farlanders always appreciate everything you do, even when we forget to let you know.
Thank you very much. Irrationally indecisive. Another 5 sub bath bomb. Picard got into that one. Thank you very much, Irrational. And then Swordil. Swordrule.
I want to say...
That's fun to say.
so cool.
Swordrule.
Oh, is that weird to say?
Well, Wolfie. With a year in the sub-tub, a year of denying Bezos's bucks.
Tip hype, tip hype.
Tip hype. Yeah, I don't think the tips obviously don't go towards the hype train. Infinite hype train levels. We gotta reach the farlands of the hype train. Ooh.
Hype train, no tips.
No tips. No tips for you.
That's how you get pink eye.
No cap, no tip.
Why is that the alert on that one? I don't know. Shortwind.
What are tips?
He's overflowing in bits, Shortwind is. They're raining down upon me like the rains. They're raining like the rain. I am a poet. Ooh, spooky noises. We're about to beat the last record. I do feel we did have a record where we got to like 400% past level 5. That one time I was playing GeoGuessr. I'm kind of sad they didn't keep that in the history.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
Ain't nothing to it.
Small batch again. Thank you very much.
It must be the first of the month. New Billboard Day.
That one got in there somehow.
Record percent hype trains hashtag numbers.
Hashtag numbers. You did it, Doc Gratis. Beep. Why did that not say missile? I don't know why that didn't say missile, Lego Hog. Oh, we got a finish line there. This is more like
You've kept me going, and
skate
now
or
I'm
don't.
in a new position in life. I'm repaying your generosity and kindness.
Well, thank you very much, Shortwind. Thank you very much indeed. And congratulations on your new position in life. Skate or don't. So yeah, I will eventually be able to let you know what these interview questions are for. But I'm not like under legal obligation or an NDA or anything like that, but they just asked me not to mention. So many bits!
I am not in a new position, but I like giving bits, so take them.
I will take your bits. I will handle them with care. Oh no, I'm gonna lose it. I gotta get this for my thumbnail. Look at this cool thing over here. It's like 2 eyes and a mouth.
I almost swallowed that nut.
ND Kurt.
Wolfie. Wolfie, look up here. Dr. Addis, thank you. Oh, oh. There we go. Got it.
Oh. I almost swallowed that nut.
Nut.
Economics. Fire noises. Alright, I'm building the hidey hole here. Spooky noise. Oh, Wolfie! Oh no! Get over here, Wolfie. What was that noise? You just ran into a cactus, didn't you, you nincompoop? Okay, you're full on health. I'm gonna have you sit. Yeah, you'll sit right there. That's fine. You dingus. Timo Warner, thank you for the gift sub. I was a bit distracted. Didn't I say that the biggest thing is just making sure Wolfie doesn't die? Oh man, you got a minute 26.
You did say that.
I did say that. Okay, now we're out of pigs. Now I gotta make beds. 1 minute in the hype train. We're so close to that finish line. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? Right there on the horizon. Oop, that's not. Whoop. 40 seconds. Oh!
I can only see a horrible rainbow!
Are we there yet?
I believe so. As the overlay would suggest. And a bath bomb, Timo Warner. 96 nice percent. Thank you very much, Timo Warner, for another bath bomb in the sub-tub. And Figonomics, oh, blasting us. Oh, the train continues. Thank you very much. And more bits from Shortwind.
I was there when you came back to the same bed. Great times.
At.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
I remember
Got
at.
nothing to it.
One hundo.
A hundo. That means the timer resets. All right, this hype train is going beyond the Farlands or Bust stream segment here because I gotta sleep and back up the world. Oh, it is 400 subscribers. Congratulations, everyone. We reached 400 subscribers for literally the first time ever on twitch.tv/KurtJMac. We've truly done it. Let's go to sleep. Let's sleep on those 400 subs. It's very lumpy.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
Ain't nothing to it.
That's a good alert. Tin and Doc. That's a good one, too. Oh, we're at 45,000. I overstated it. Correction. We're not at 47 gigabytes. We're at 45,733.7 megabytes.
A78 gifted a tier 1 sub to me, Menno. They have
Thank you
given
very much.
11 gift subs in the
Agents. Doc Gratis.
Toss your balls in my top by Mr. Bucket. Out of my mouth I will pop by Mr. Bucket.
Thank you for 5 sub bath bomb again. In the tub. We're getting close to that 420 for the first time ever. You know, we're very heavy on the 420 around here. That's a real common cultural joke that we participate in. We totally blazed it around here. Lies.
Lies.
Do you notice how I made that sound effect? The burning sound effect? That was intentional.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
Whoa!
Ain't nothing to it.
Buddy!
I can't donate bits as often as I like, but my appreciation goes far
Thank you,
beyond
Abby.
12 million blocks.
Put that on a birthday card.
Toss your balls in my top by Mr. Bucket.
Shortwin with a 10. A 10 sub bath bomb. Thank you very much, Short Wind. Your wind is neither
letting me
short
sit
Ain't nothing to it.
nor
I can't donate
Wind.
bits as often as I like, but my appreciation goes far beyond 12 million
Did
blocks.
you hit the button twice there, Abby? I think you hit the button twice. But thank you again. And Figonomics again.
Out of my mouth I will pop by Mr. Bucket.
Did we do it? I think we're at 420. I think we did it. Thank you very much. 420 subs. We reached the goal for the first time ever. And not ever before. No, Bob, I had to roll the thing back. Bob Ross is 500.
I almost swallowed that nut.
420 the internet number.
It is the internet sex number, isn't it? There you go, I'm prepared. Tub overflow. Thank you, everybody. That is very much appreciated. Hype Train Dynasty. Well, now I feel like I should load the train.